retreat, no surrender. We not lotion, pet or powder. We tell them no retreat, no surrender. We not lotion, pet or powder.
Alright, so shalom and Selektah Lidj, Yefdi, Yefdeyah, Rastafari Renaissance.com. And as mentioned before, especially as ones, of course, within our circle who are definitely at this time receiving the first day opportunity updates, just, nothing really special, too much about most of the updates that we send, but it is an ongoing process in which we'll relay a lot of messages and reaching throughout many industries, many opportunities that are still at this very time, even with, technology and things of that nature changing a lot of the economic landscape in which we live in today. There are still, many opportunities where ones can actually change their living situation as well as those around them at this time, with the given time, laid out in front of us at this specific moment. And we really are seeking to, I wouldn't say codify, but categorize this particular update, which we are sending to ones on a weekly basis as of right now. So every 7, coming toward Yom Rishon, or as we know it Ethiopically, Ehud, the first day of what they call the week, the Shabuah, the Samit. We usually send out, these updates and, stretching over, numerous means of employment, whether at the entry level or mid-level management, or even stretching to some supervisory positions. There are still so many of them out here at this specific time. And, even with ones searching to do certain things, like a work from home opportunity at this time, those are still very viable at this time. And we're not speaking of just the, the spam emails that ones tend to send. No, these are credible resources. These are very vetted and constituted, as they would say, establishments who are just offering certain positions because they are outsourcing, some of these tasks to ones who, of course, may fit the criteria or requirements specifically for what they're looking for. We sent out one for, a researcher for a specific company, and we have to really kind of, revisit that one again. It just kind of came across our desk, and we wanted to make sure to shoot that one out to ones, because if they have the time and the opportunity, that definitely can be, a source of income, at least for a time, for certain ones who are willing to get into that type of endeavor. And there are many more like that as well, and of course, we mentioned things like automation. Sister Mariama even speaks on that numerous times there on the WMW, so we have been very aware of these things. But as of today, ones should still be able to get into certain industries if they are ready and willing to gather the skills, because that's really the template in which many ones are looking for ones. Even if you don't have what they call a college degree at this time, you can still, self-educate yourself to a certain point to where you are still viable in the workforce, especially if you have a certain skill set to present to certain ones. And that would be, the crux of the matter for many ones. They just don't have the skill set, as certain times have changed over this information age and this technological age. And that's really where most of the work and job opportunities and occupations have gone over this short span of time, where things have changed in such a rapid pace to where, honestly, as they had been warning, or many people had been warning for such a time, ones had to be ahead of the curve on that particular matter. So many ones, unfortunately have been left out of the loop, and to some other people's betterment, they were more so, aging out of that particular time as well. We speak on the baby boomer generation, and is a very small sector of that generation that really kind of, caught on to those wins and those economic turns, and were able to still, even keep a occupation or a job moving forward, or venture off and make a job for themselves, as long as they were able to keep up with the times. But, again, not just keeping to the point, we are seeking to turn these weekly updates into something a little more tangible, and adding a few more nuances and caveats into it. And it definitely will, hopefully, we pray at least, that it will benefit the ones who, of course, are taking part at the very moment, and those who have yet to come in. So just adding that into the mix of what we, have brought up and have been brainstorming about from such a time, it has been definitely overdue. We can say that for certain. And, for our own parts, we really had sought to do this from, quite some time back. Had been speaking with the Rebbe, Tafari, and many other ones as well, just, gathering ideas, concept mapping this out as we had come forward to present this. But, I think that we are definitely ready at this time, especially getting, our own personal publishing wing, at least off the ground, not as public as we would like to be, but definitely gathering all of the information needed so that we can start to move full steam ahead on particular projects that we had sought to bring out, from some years back. So just that on the outset, ones be aware, and stay tuned for our weekly. Well, not weekly. We might be the weekly will also be to the constituents in the fellowship who usually are tuned in to the discipleship radio there on Blog Talk Radio. And also, if you also are a member or have some membership to Rastafari or .org, as some ones may know, we made a few upgrades there to the site. And ones who are seeking to get connected will have to connect over on Rastafari instead of .com. So I don't think we'll discontinue .com. I really have to speak to Sister Tehetna and Ras Yadin on that specifically, on what actually we may do with that specific site and that platform, because it has definitely served us from such a time up until this point, and has served us quite well, helping us get the word out to certain ones, and also, just being a good platform that has been, living up to its utilization as far as that goes. But even so, just making the updates to our specific platform to make sure that things are mobile friendly. Again, just mentioning this technological age, this information age, things, go, have to really, stay on top of things. You have to stay on top of, as many things as possible, or you are, humanly able to do at a certain extent, so that ones are, always able to connect, and link up with you when need be, though our time is so limited, moving certain things forward and focusing ourselves on specific projects. But, God willing, we'll be able to complete those tasks and keep things moving full steam ahead. And, we'll look out for that. But we'll probably get to, again, our main point, the newsletter. It probably will be more on a monthly basis, which we will send that out. And that will be, not only digitally, but also in a physical. We'll actually have a physical printing of that, since we've been able to, get certain things started, with our printing works, our publishing works, and just drawing up the proposals for that. Hopefully we'll be able to connect everything efficiently and earnestly to, just bring about, not only getting the information out, but, connecting certain ones who have been seeking to, connect with each other as well as with us, more at a rapid pace. So, stay tuned for that. We'll definitely make a few announcements on, all of our social media platforms, as well as our, Blog Talk Radio show, along with the rest of our corresponding bloggers, so on and so forth. So, be aware and, just stay tuned for us on that front. We'll definitely seek to, make ones aware of that. We'll probably make the newsletter for a very, very small nominal fee. It will be, quite cheap, for such a newsletter, almost to the effect of a newspaper, but on a monthly basis. So kind of like a magazine subscription, or, something of a similar fashion, just to, again, bring certain ones together who might not have known that other ones had been out there and been, seeking to connect and link up with certain ones, especially across this nation and internationally as well. So we plan to send this near and as far as possible. But, we just give so much thanks for the support from all of the ones, on an international level as well as the local front. And we're just humble, to continue to serve in the capacity in which we are able. But, just give so much thanks as always. We're continuing to push certain things into fruition. So, step by step, we'll make this thing happen. And, again, as always, stay tuned right here to Lidj Yefdi here on YouTube, as well as our other platforms. Shalom.